Well, hello there. Hi. Let's see who's here. Says I got some folks. Go ahead, tell me you're here. Type something in that chat because I can't actually see you as a human. Oh, happy Wednesday, guys. It's hump day, huh? How's it going? I don't know. I think my feed is like a little weird. Wah, 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 wah. Well, I can see that you guys are here. It's Wednesday. Energy's been interesting, huh, you guys? Oh, people are leaving. Is this thing not streaming? Because I'm not even getting anything. I'm gonna do a little test here in the chat. Because it's like being weird. Let's see. Test. Oh, hi, Nicole. Okay, I think it's coming in now. How weird. I don't know. Well, is it really weird? I mean, it's technology. You know, technology is like, meh. Hey, Nicole, how's it going? I hope it's going well. Is this going to do? Hey, Michelle. Oh, girl, I thought I was the only one. Glad you joined. Hi, Emma. I know, right? I don't know what's happening here. Freaking technology, man. No, you know what it is? It's our energy. We're just blasting it. We're like, you know, making it go wonky bonkers. So, how's everybody doing? Mhm. I hope everyone's doing well. April's been very interesting, no? I almost feel like it's been really educational. The visual is working out. Okay, so I don't know, maybe something's up with YouTube. I mean, it's telling me that I'm streaming. It's telling me that I'm live. Hey, Sarah, nice to see you. Yeah, so I guess y'all are loading up right now. I don't know. Delays, delays, delays. It's not Mercury retrograde yet. Maybe we're in the shadow, probably in the shadow period. So that's what's going on. But it's a little bit, I mean, I set it up to not have a slow feed, but whatever. I feel like April has been really like educational, like I was saying. So what I mean by that is like lots of lessons learned and lots of lessons like coming in big time. Yeah, Nicole is saying she's been feeling very tired and off the past 3 days. It just seems like there's a lot. It's like, you know what it is? I feel like it's our hi Elisa. I think what it is hey 2121. Nice to see you guys. I think what it is that so much information is coming in to our higher soul. And when we're giving our uh incarnated soul, so the part of the soul that's inside the body or not it's not really inside the body, it's a little technical, but the part of the soul that has the body that's entangled with the body is trying to make connections, and it is, and when it is making connections and getting the messages and the information and the data downloaded into the body, right? um it's coming fast and furious, and that's also what's making the physical body so tired. So, Nicole, you've probably just had a lot of energy downloads, a lot of information that your higher soul is communicating to the part of the soul that's integrated in with the body, incarnated with the body, entangled with the body. And so you're learning lessons. Now, the interesting thing about these lessons is that we don't necessarily know what the lessons are in regular human terms, right? Until we actually have that experience where some sort of an emotion is coming up and we're in the lesson, the expansion, the consciousness of it. So really feel like there's been some sort of like upgrade or up level that's been going on for us in April. And we're only halfway through April. And it just feels, or a little bit less than halfway through April, but it just feels like April's been here forever. April is one of these months, I think it could be a turning point in our life this year. So Just kind of interesting. I don't know what YouTube's issue is. I mean, it's telling me I've got people, so I know y'all are there. I apologize for not being able to connect with you guys better, but the chat system is like screwy. I don't know what the dealio is going on with it. But hold on, let me write something again because last time I wrote something, y'all came through. Michelle is affirming that we're there. You're here. You're here. Okay, you guys are here. I'm like, what the what? Okay. There's Elisa. Okay, chat is screwy. Yeah. See, so guys, hang in there. I promise to connect with you guys through the chat thing when it comes through. So just bear with me. I know you're there. So yeah. So anyways, that to me is like what's going on in April so far. That's been my experience. I'd love to hear what your experience has been so far. So Jackie is screwy. Yeah, Michelle's saying screwy. New favorite word. Yeah, screwy. So hey Jackie, nice to see you. You're saying I have a really strong intuition. How do I decipher whether it's intuition or something else? Okay, that's a great question, Jackie. So like there's instinct and intuition, yes? How do you know when you're acting from your instincts versus your intuition? So intuition is really this like knowing. And the intuition happens when there's you want to call it clarity, not clarity, but quietness from any type of anxiety. Let's just call it that. Like there's no anxiety around, there's stillness, there's peace, there's calm, no chaos. So if you get information or a hit of information, that's usually intuition. When you're under stress, when you're under pressure, if you're in fear and you get a kind of a hit, that's going to be more of an instinct. Okay, so yes, it's still intuitive, right? But it's more instinctual. So what is that kind of difference, Terry? What do you think that is? So, let's look at it as, are you in a situation that you need life saving or not? So that's how we can like make that discernment or decipher whether it's instinctual or not, right? Are you running down or are you walking home at night, dark, 2 3 in the evening, and you walk by a driveway and that driveway leads you down a dark alley, right? That's more, and you get the hit, don't go there, someone could be there, or it's dangerous, or something's not right. It just doesn't feel right to go there. That's an instinct versus intuition. Granted, they still come from the same umbrella, okay, Jackie? But I just want to make this a little bit easier to understand, like your operating system, when you're operating from what and where. So hopefully that's the point that I'm trying to get across. You're fighting for your life in a way with that scenario, right? If I go down this alley that I'm being told by a judgment of some sort inside my head, my body, or any of my senses are giving me this information, it's to keep me alive. Okay. This way I won't die. So, anxiety and stress are usually triggered through situations that put you in some sort of a survival mode. So, typically, when you're using your intuition, you're coming from a place of calmness, of peace, and of stillness, which when something is instinctive or instinctual, there's usually some sort of stress or a trigger of chaos, which is the complete opposite, right? So that's how you're going to know whether you're using your intuition or not. Okay, Jackie, I hope that helps. So if you're freaked out, if you're stressed out, if you're anxious, you're not using your intuition, which means that there could be a lie or a non truth somewhere in that hit of information that you're getting. I hope that makes sense. Emma is saying life for sure feels weird right now. Feels like all the big stuff happening at once. Yes. Yes. That's what I would consider like the big download. So, like, what's the lesson from it? Am I right? What's the lesson? Is the lesson to is the lesson to make the discernment of what each emotion is? Remember, feelings causes emotion, and emotions are energy in motion, right? And everything's energy. So, is it that you are in the process of learning how to feel each emotion, how to not how to understand, but like understanding maybe what the trigger was that caused that, um or is it God, I just lost my train of thought. You'll have to forgive me. Totally just lost my train of thought. Um, but anyways, what are you supposed to get out of this experience, right? That you're feeling, right? Because when it feels big, so like the more of an emotional reaction you have to something, like if you're crying or hyperventilating or in rage, the older that emotion is that's been stored in your energetic field or that you've experienced in your life. So the more hysterical, the more historical. So the older something is, the older a stuffed or denied or pushed down emotion something is, the more and the bigger the reaction is going to be when it rears its ugly head. So you can kind of like, look at everything that's going on right now and just go, well, how old are these emotions? How long have I been keeping them? What were the original triggers? Right. And then the other part that I kind of had like let go is fuck, it's letting go now too. What the hell? Maybe I'm not supposed to tell you because every time I say it, it totally slips my mind. Shit, man. And I just had it too. I had it, I lose it. I had it, I lose it. Oh, here it is. I'm going to say it now. What evidence do you have that it's true based on what happened in the past? So, how are you emotionally time traveling? And are you emotionally time traveling or are you in the present now moment? Jackie says, yes, exactly. Because my intuition is usually about people and warnings about them. Okay. Yeah. So, then you're using your intuition. If you're coming from a place of like calmness and stillness and absolute truth without stress or anxiety, then that would be more of an intuition than an instinct. Okay. Maybe that helps. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. All right. So Sartorius says, can you explain what a karmic connection means to me? You've mentioned it in previous readings and videos, and I'm interested to know more about what this is. Is it negative or positive? Okay. Fantastic. Sarah. I know your name is Sarah. I'm just gonna call you Sarah because it's weird to call you Sartorius when I know that you're Sarah. So please forgive me for that, but Sarah. So a karmic connection means that there is some sort of exchange in learning and teaching for evolutionary purposes of the soul. Okay, so typically, it's from a past life. Typically, which past life? I don't know. Do we need to know? Doesn't matter. Uh, until that lesson is it's not just learned, but your soul evolves from it's sort of like this, it doesn't get closed. It's like unfinished business, I guess you can say, right? And you don't always necessarily know in the lifetime that you're experiencing, you don't even necessarily know what that lesson is. You can have an idea. So karmic connections are people who come into your life at various points for you to learn something from them and from them to learn something from you that may have not been completed or uh, come to a close from the previous lifetime. Okay. So, for example, I have a karmic connection with my best friend. Her name is Daphna. I've had past life readings. They weren't readings, they were hypnosis, past life hypnosis sessions where we were in Lemuria together. Like, that's where I think we first met. We've always had the relationship that we've always had in this current lifetime was that she's been my rock, right? So I explode. I'm the emotional one. She's more masculine in this lifetime, or at least in our relationship. She's more masculine, I'm more feminine. I'm the crier, I'm the emotional one. I'm always emoting. And she's always my rock. So she's always making sure I'm taken care of emotionally. She's always helping me emotionally. She's always giving me really great emotional advice. So we met when I was crying. I think we were 11 or 12 years old. Something had happened. I can't even remember. Like, I block shit out. She remembers it. Someone made me cry. She came over to me because she saw that I was crying, right? And she felt bad. If I remember correctly, her rising sign is Cancer, if I remember correctly. So, of course, it's a very Cancerian thing to do, to come over and just nurture and love and all that. And that's been our relationship pretty much all these years, like 30 something years, right? There's a deep connection, a bond. You don't necessarily have words that can describe it. And you teach each other lessons. Okay. She's not a very emotional person. I'm very emotional. So, what I am able to do for her is to tap into more of her feminine energy of nurturing, compassion, and caring when she's giving me that love and that kindness and that compassion. So, we have some sort of contract. I don't know exactly, and I could be totally BSing you too, because I don't have any evidence of what the evolution is or anything like that. But in this lifetime, she's my best friend. She's my rock, right? I have another karmic connection with and this one is more recent. This happened within the last 3 years with a guy who we've had a very interesting friendship. We started out dating and I broke it off. And it was a regret that I had for a very long time that I have finally come to peace with. And he has taught me so many things, like countless countless lessons, and I the same in reverse. Mostly he's teaching me how to trust men and I'm teaching him how to trust women. And that's emotional baggage from this current lifetime that we each have separately from developmental traumas. Completely different. But the karmic connection is that feeling of safety and home, and I know you. And somehow, some way, I might owe you or you owe me for unfinished business in a past lifetime. Okay, so that's what I mean by karmic connection. Karma, law of attraction, right? Cause and effect, right? Um, so that's what I mean by it. When you connect and you resonate with somebody and they feel like home, you don't even know, it doesn't have to be sexual, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a boss, it can be a parent, it can be a sister, it can be just a companion. I mean, it could be a librarian. You go check out books. Like, it doesn't have to be a romantic, situation. But there is an ongoing lesson learning evolution of the soul. Like, for example, um with this guy that I'm talking about, and we've been through a lot together, and we'll probably be go through a lot more together, which that thought is just Um, he's really taught me how to slow down a lot of my anxiety in regards to men, right? And I've been teaching him that it's okay to open up to women, that they're not just going to take off and run away, right? Or we're not going to be rejected or abandoned by men or women, right? So it's this karmic connection, it's this evolution, because when people teach us something, it's hard to unbe taught something. Do you like that? So let me put it this way: when you learn a lesson, it's hard to unlearn it. You can't really unlearn it. You have to relearn it differently, right? So he has taught me how to slow down a lot in dating, because I have a lot of relationship anxiety when it comes to dating and courting, right? But he's really taught me how to slow down, trust the process. He's also an avoidant, so he runs away, right? And I'm the anxious attachment, so I go forward, which is your typical dance. Actually, that's not true. In relationship, I'm disorganized. So I'm both come here and go away. So I'm both like anxious and avoidant, which is like worse than being either or, right? And at the very beginning, I would just freaking take off and leave. And he one time he called me a drive-by friend, and I was like, that is so painful to hear, because I'm not that way. I'm a Leo. I'm loyal as fuck. But when it comes to the heart and when it comes to men, I don't trust them, and I'm still learning in my old age, right? But with him, I feel like I'm at home. I just feel really comfortable. Like, I tell him everything. Like, I tell my best friend everything, because there's just this sense of home, and there's a vulnerability that you can have with someone that you don't have with anybody else, because there's a familiarity. So that's what I mean by karmic connection. I hope that that makes sense. Yes, Michelle, that was a great question that Jackie asked. Yeah, you're right. Susan has a question: do you believe in synchronicities? Why, yes, I do. You've been seeing a lot of repeating numbers like 555, 888, 333, 44. Yes, 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 yes. So what a synchronicity is you being in the same energetic alignment as, or same frequency, or same wavelength as the other things that are going on around you. So technically, we're always in synchronicity with something, right? So the reason why some things stand out more than others is because we have a goal or a desire, and we start seeing the evidence or the pieces um of evidence that we're in that alignment. We're on the same wavelength. We're in that synchronicity of what's on its way. So when I'm working with somebody in terms of manifestation and creation and materialization, I always tell them it's so important to recognize and acknowledge those synchronicities, because it's the universe, it is God, it's your cosmic family, it's your masters, teachers, and loved ones, it's your guides, it's all the high beings and the angels and spiritual helpers and your spiritual teachers, all the things telling you you are on the right track, going in the right direction. You know, as I've been studying more in my spirituality, and in the past year and a half, I've been in spiritual practice of Arhatic yoga. I'm learning more and more about the soul and soul evolution, and it's like freaking amazing. It's definitely more energy based, and I also, really love science. And thankfully, quantum theory and quantum mechanics is, really being proven and shown. They're doing experiments. They have, testing going on and all the things, which is awesome because they're proving the existence of energy, right? So it's hard for me to sit here and tell you what everything means, when first of all, each individual soul has its own evolution, has its own imprint, has its own karma, right? I'm starting to feel like it's so arrogant of me to say, "Oh, well, Susan, since you're seeing 555, this is what that means." We don't really know what it means. You can study numerology and you can have an idea of the general sense, the general energy of what numbers mean. Like, so for example, the number 5, because you're giving the example 555, right? So the example 5 usually means some sort of transformation or change. So if you're seeing 555, that's like amplified 3 times. So that's probably saying that whatever changes you've made or in the process of making, they're bringing you closer to your goals. Stay on the track, right? So usually what I tell people is, we cannot bypass our human experience with spirituality. We really can't. I actually just called out one of my clients the other day. She's like, "Well, I just saged the place just so I could get some sleep." I was like, So saging the place just to get some sleep doesn't mean you're going to actually get some sleep. Why do you think, and what are you not looking at in your human life that you're not getting sleep? Because saging and crystals and yoga and tarot and all of that is not going to take your problems away, because you're not just a non physical being. And those are non physical energies. You have to address your physical energy. You have to accept that you are a human being, and therefore you cannot bypass all of the pain and the emotion and the torment of being a human being. You cannot bypass that with spiritual practices. Okay. And I will call people out on that. I have no shame in the game because I do it for myself too. Okay. We cannot hide behind non physical energy because we are having an experience in our human form. We are both physical and non physical. We are spiritual beings having a physical lifetime. So to only live out of one world, you're not going to navigate your human experience very well at all. So, synchronicities are awesome. They're just indicators. They just tell you that you're on the right track, but you cannot put all of your faith, all of your eggs into those baskets. Okay, I hope that helps. Let's see here. Finally, the chat is like, loading up here. So Susan, I hope that answers your question. Lorena, I used to wake up and see energy in form often, and then it stopped out of nowhere. Now I just hear a really loud vibration, ringing sounds several times a week. Can this mean my third eye has closed? I mean, yeah, it can mean that. It also could mean that maybe your clairvoyance, which is your seeing, is just for whatever reason right now blocked or shut down. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it sounds like your clairaudience is just more prevalent and more prominent. We have all senses. We do have primary and secondary. Like, my primary is clairsentient. So I feel information coming off of light waves, right? So, like when I'm doing mediumship, I'm not seeing somebody, you know, if there's a murder, I'm not seeing somebody get murdered. I'm feeling as if I'm the person being murdered, right? So I know that sounds morbid, but that's my communication, right? Clairsentience. I feel things. That also like in regular non-psychic, regular world, I don't know what you want to call it, because I always call I'm multiple personality. We're all multiple personalities, right? Let's be real here. So like I'll even say this to my friends when they ask me questions like, are you asking psychic Terry or regular Terry, right? Regular Terry, my prime communication is also feeling, which is what clairsentience is. It's clear feeling. Like, I'm an experiential learner. I learn by participating in action and doing whatever the thing is, right? Like, I can read a book, but I don't retain information very well. And then my primary um, non-physical communication would be clairaudience, meaning I hear information, right? But and then in regular Terry world, like I'll learn more from hearing a book on audio versus reading it, right? So a good indicator or a good way of knowing, even like in your non-physical world, how do you communicate? How do you learn in your physical world or the material world? It's a pretty good indicator of how you'll communicate with the spirit world too. So it doesn't mean your third eye is closed. It just may mean that there's just a period in your life right now where it's just not so activated. You just practice. That's all. It's super easy. You just practice. It never goes away. Nah. It's like, when you haven't ridden a bike for a really long time, once you get back on that bike and you start practicing again, oh yeah, it comes back super fast. So you're good. Christina is waving her hand. Hi. Hi, Christina. Okay, Nicole says, okay, so my question is, can your spirit guide physically move something that you brought them to get your attention? It's happened to me for 34 years and it makes me smile. Aw, of course your spirit guide can do that. Everything is energy. And if enough energy is conjured up to move from non-physical to the physical realm, and it does that all the freaking time. What do you think my mug is? My mug is made my mug is showing up in a physical material way, but it's made from energy that is moving at such slow frequencies that it's forming, conjuring, forming this shape, this heaviness, this feel. If I smell it, well, mine smells like coffee. But if you just smell the smell in your physical senses, right? Through the brain is the processor, is the brain is processing those light waves, the movement of the subatomic particles and how fast they are to show up in terms of, let's say, your eyesight to look like Cheshire Cat, right? So when I'm feeling this, the sensor processes not only in my fingers and in my skin, but in my brain, they're deciphering or they're discerning that energy as a certain feeling. So, yes, your spirit guides, the spirit world, absolutely. All it needs to do, but it's not an easy feat, but it can be done. All they have to do to manifest something from energy into some sort of tangibility that you can process through your brain as eyesight, for example, which is what's happening because you're telling me you're seeing this object move, right? It takes time and a lot of like energy to slow the energy down enough for your eyes to register through the brain that movement. Hope that helps. Amy, hey Amy. Nice to see you. What are your feelings on deja vu? Sorry if I spelled it wrong. Well, girl, don't even worry about spelling. I ain't judging you on that. As long as I can understand what you're saying. If I don't understand what you're saying, I will say what the hell is this? I don't get it, but I do understand what you're saying, so you're good. Deja vu. It's a stream of timelines, and you're just tapping into a particular timeline that is resonating with you in the now moment. So I always look at or receive deja vu that I'm on the right track and I'm on the right path for me. And in other words, like I saw this timeline or I felt or any of my physical senses, this timeline in the past. And my brain is somehow registering that I'm in this timeline now that's also happening at the same time in the past. It's very difficult for me to explain, but you can look up, quantum. what the quantum field is it's a field of absolute nothingness where all experiences, all timelines exist at the same time. String theory. There was a really great show in the 90s called Fringe. I don't know where it is if it's on like Netflix or Hulu or something, but it was all about string theory and time travel and observation of different timelines and stuff like that. So it's an older show. But if you can get your hands on it and watch it, Mama Pajama, so good. Michelle, in general, is there a way to communicate with spirit guides other than tarot and meditation? Yeah. Talk to them as if they're living, like how you would talk to your friends, and then just be open to how you receive the information from them. Remember, you will be receiving the information. Your brain has to process that energy because on every light wave, which is an energy wave, there's data and information. So the brain is the processor of the let's just say of the human body. So the brain will receive this information through the skin for touch, through the eyes, through the nose, through the mouth, through the ears, whatever. It has to be processed. So, however that is processed, and however, like I was talking earlier about like your communications, like what your primary communications are, that's how you're going to want to like focus. And that's how you're going to want to open your awareness and your consciousness and place your attention on where and how it's going to be received. So your the best way is to build a relationship with your team. I mean, I call mine Team Terry. I have no idea who they are. We've got so many spirit guides. If you're a medium, you've got gatekeepers. You have masters, teachers, loved ones. You have spiritual teachers. You have angels. You have archangels. You have like, for crying out loud, who knows, your whole cosmic family, like there's it's not your job to keep track of their job. Your job is to receive the information and make it as easy as possible to receive that information as guidance and then use your free will to choose to move into whichever direction or whichever timeline or reality you want. So your guides know what they're doing. They're all employees of God. That's what I call them. They know what their jobs are and they don't care that you're not acknowledging each of their individual jobs. They don't have the ego like we do. Like we would be like, "Ah, excuse me, I'm the one in charge of her sense of humor." And like, it's not like, oh, well, yeah, well, I'm in charge of, her travel and her safety and travel. It's not like that. That's a human thing. So when we're talking about spirit guides, we're often making it a human thing, which of course is normal and natural so we can grasp and understand. But we have ego and they don't. So they don't care if you acknowledge them or not. What they do care is that you build a relationship with them. And when they give you guidance, you choose your destiny from that information. Okay. So, Michelle, build a relationship, talk to them, eat dinner with them, shower with them, go to the movies with them, go to work with them, all the things. You don't even have to use tools, but just be aware and conscious of the communication that you get through a particular sense. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Susan says that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me. I guess you're talking about that synchronicity thing. Hey, Sunflower, nice to see you. Susan wants to know, are you accepting super chat money to answer psychic questions? Yes, 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 yes. If you want to donate super chat, yes, I will answer your psychic questions. There's no minimum donation or anything like that. But to answer a psychic question, if you want some actual psychic guidance, yes, I do take those by super chat donations. So, yes to that, absolutely. Sartorius, Sarah, thanks for the yeah. Thank you for the explanation on a karmic connection. That makes sense. Good. Michelle, hey Michelle. Yay, you caught the live today. Yeah, I hope your day is going great. My day's been going great. I was triggered earlier. Just like any other normal human being. And I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let go. I started doing all this energy work. I'm like, okay, throw it away. Just all this erase, 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 all this energy work. And I couldn't let it go. And when I was able to let it go was when I did a reading for somebody and I stopped thinking about myself, and all my attention, focus, and awareness was on serving them. And ever since that time, I'm so grateful because now I'm like, what happened, happened. Right. So for me personally, I'm not sure, I'm not sure how this goes for you, but for me personally, when I'm of service and I help other people, I get out of my own head. All right, here we have a super chat. Let's see, who's this from? It's not. Oh, there we go. Susan. Okay, Susan. Yeah, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, Susan, where's your question? Wah, wah. How does this work? I don't know how this works. I'm assuming you just ask a question. Okay. I don't know. Susan. Okay, there we go. Sorry. No, okay. I see your question, Susan. I'm just being a little bit non-technical here. Okay, what energy do you see around my business and finances? Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards on you. I'm gonna pull some cards on you. I'm gonna pull some cards for you. I feel like there's a lot of change and busyness happening. Let me pull some cards for you, but um, yeah. So Susan wants to know. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. What do you see around my business and finances? There's a lot of change happening. There's a lot of busyness. I almost feel like people might are look. I don't know what exactly it is that you do, but it does feel to me that the people are. If you're looking to sell, people are looking like at you as a choice, and they're being very. There's money coming in, so like, yeah, you use your instincts, your instincts on this for the decision that you have to make. You have it, okay? You have the right. Get out of your head about it. You're thinking way too much about it. You're this all the change and all the busyness that's going on, Susan. It's part of the process. It's part of your learning. Okay? So money is coming in. I feel like you'll start to see that money because I feel like you're not seeing the money and you're getting frustrated because it's almost like you're feeling second choice or second fiddle to somebody. Somebody's looking at your business. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you're trying to sell it or what, but again, think metaphor here, okay? It's you're on the right, like, trust your instinct. I feel like you're talking yourself out of it, whatever it is, the decision, whether it's to sell or whether it's to buy. There's money to be made. I see the money coming in 3 to 5 months, okay? So you need to just kind of hang in there, okay? Hang in there. I know it's frustrating because it's like I feel like you're being teased like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, okay? Hang in there. People are looking. People, they may not be serious in buying or be serious about you just yet, but trust, okay, trust your instincts in terms of how you're presenting yourself to people. I feel like you're like unsure how you're presenting yourself to people. Like maybe let's just say it's like your message. Are you succinct with your message? Because it seems like that might be the only thing that needs some tweaking. So like for example, again, I don't know the particulars, right? And I don't have that much time to like go into the particulars here, but let's say you're going for a job interview, right? Get your message about yourself, get that straight and get that going. Be succinct with it because there's money coming in. So if you're looking for a job, you're looking to be hired, or you're looking to sell your business or whatever it is, get super clear with your message and your presentation. Because I feel like you have it, you lose it. You have it, you lose it because you're overthinking things. But there's money coming to you within 3 to 5 months. Okay. Um, breathe. All right. Okay. I hope that helps. Okay. Sunflower Fields, thank you for the super chat. Does the new relationship I'm in have potential to be good and healthy. I like this person. Can you you're welcome, Susan. Sunflower Fields, can you just type in the first name of this person? I really like this person for you. This, all right, girl, and I'm getting chills on this. This person is a karmic connection. Anthony, I don't think you know this yet because it's still very new, but I do feel like, okay, as a person who has anxiety, and I know you do because you're watching this, right? And you're a fan of the channel. Birds of a feather flock together. That's how we roll around here. All of us here have anxiety. No way around it. Let's just be honest. You're not trusting because you're like, this is almost too good to be true, it feels like, right? So about this, so you're gonna have to slow down and trust the process. He will be teaching you things. Now, I used to joke around and I still joke around on my friend that I'm enrolled in Sam University. So if you want to, you can enroll yourself into Anthony University, but you have to understand that when you're opening yourself up to learning from someone else, there can be an emotional roller coaster and emotional pain. So, what I'm going to suggest from you for you, Sunflower, is if you do choose to use him as a teacher, because I like him, I like this opportunity for you. I feel like this has legs, but I also feel like your anxiety might go like, I don't want to deal with this. Right. So if you're going to enroll in Anthony University, breathe in, breathe out. Don't be mean and hard to on yourself. Be compassionate and open to yourself and be vulnerable. And it's okay to tell Anthony that you're scared. It's okay to tell Anthony that you're fearful. And I'll tell you why. That's feminine energy. Feminine energy is emotional. Okay. And this is something I'm embracing myself too. And I'm probably older than you. I don't know, probably older than you. But I used to think the fact that I'm so sensitive, like every one of you guys who are here who are watching, is a bad thing because my emotions are really big and it's a lot. So I used to think I'm too much for somebody. Nobody can handle me. I'm just too much. You want to know something? You're not too much. So, Sunflower, take this in, okay? You're not too much. You just have emotions. And you want to know something? That's feminine energy. Feminine energy is emotional. Okay. So it's okay to have emotions. Okay. So I'm going to suggest, because I like this with Anthony, I'm going to suggest that you move forward in spite of whatever emotion you're feeling. Okay. And just move forward, move through it, and communicate how you're feeling. And don't worry about how you think he might react. Wait until he actually has a reaction because that'll be evidence or proof or information. Really, it's information as to how where you can gauge yourself. But don't be afraid. And you're not too much. That's feminine energy. That's feminine energy. So embrace your feminine energy. Okay. Susan Chang. Okay. Hey, I need your question, Susan. Thank you. Thank you, Susan and Sunflower, for your super chats. Okay, until I get your question, you're welcome, Sunflower. Until I get your question, Susan, let's see if anybody else had anything that they um let's see. uh Nicole, you smell his smell around the house periodically. So that's the clairaudience. That's your nose. Wait, Claire Gustance is taste, clairaudience. So you have a heightened sense of smell when that's happening. Hey, Jennifer, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to see you here. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Okay, Susan, here's your question. What energy do you feel around my husband and I having a second child? Oh my God, I'm getting a firm yes. Hold on. Do you see a gender or timeline where if it'll be an easy pregnancy birth? I had a preeclampsia with my first kid. Yeah, I mean, I had like there was I didn't even finish reading your question, Susan, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. So I do feel like having a second kiddo with the hubs is going to be great. Let's see. Here's the thing. Susan, don't try so hard. Don't want it so bad. I know that and this is going to be the last question, you guys. Because I have other clients I have to get to and I have to mind my time. So I apologize. But I'll be back next week. We're doing this every Wednesday at 12. Okay. Um, so Susan, let me get back to you. Yeah, it'll deflect instead of attract. Exactly. So when you want something too much, too hard, you actually activate the law of repulsion. So I love that you guys want to have a kid. I would stop putting so much importance on it and let it happen. The timeline I'm not getting again because it's still kind of like being worked out in regards to the energetic aspect of it. I do feel that it would be considered a high risk pregnancy. That's what's coming through. But that don't freak out about that. All right. Because that doesn't mean it's going to go bad. It doesn't mean that there are going to be issues. A high risk pregnancy only means you need more attention, time, and care from the medical folks and just you taking it slower, which is okay. So I do feel like I'm not, an easy pregnancy. It depends on what your definition of easy is. I do feel like it's high risk, but that doesn't mean it's negative. Okay. Okay. So I just want you to be able to take that in. I'm not here to scare you. Okay. But you can start creating that experience for yourself by learning how to manage your energy and your anxiety. We all have anxiety, okay? So that's how it's going to go. Okay. So just start learning some breathing techniques, do the heart tapping. I have a whole bunch of videos on my channel for managing shifting your energy. Go ahead and do that. But I really feel like it would be great to have another kiddo. The gender, psh, I go by energy. It's so hard to go by gender. I do feel feminine energy, but that could be a boy who just happens to be more feminine. Has nothing to do with sexual identity or gender. Again, I go by energy. So I do feel more feminine energy as of this conversation right now. You have to remember, everybody who's watching, please, please, please remember energy is so fluid these days and it changes in like milliseconds. And that's because we have free will and choice. Every choice and decision that you're making, you choose a whole new direction. So, as of now, Susan, I do love the idea of you guys having a second child. Not getting a timeline because it's still being worked out. It feels like there's a lesson in you learning how to balance energy. I do feel like it could be a high risk pregnancy. Again, that doesn't mean it's bad. It does not mean it's dangerous. It just means more attention, slowing down. So that's what I get. But I don't think I just feel like you don't need to fear it. You don't need to fear it. That's what keeps coming up. Okay. Cecilia says that she saw me on Kendall and Josh's podcast and she loves my energy. Thank you so much. That's very kind. So yeah, Jackie did also. So yeah, so welcome all of the sesh and lights out folks, in addition to Colleen folks and anybody else folks. All are welcomed here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the super chats. The super chats will get you psychic questions answered. Otherwise, we're here to hang out, just talk. I'll try and, like throw up that sounds horrible, but throw up like information, and education and spirituality and all that fun stuff because it's really important to be with like-minded people. Everybody here, we're here to serve. We're here to do it not to our detriment, meaning learning how to do it in a healthy way so we're not depleting our energy, right? We're here to connect and engage and we're here to just learn and just kind of connect and engage and just hopefully have a good time, be silly, be playful, right? So, Jennifer, you're getting ready for work. You'll ask a question next week. Wonderful. Wednesday at 12 p.m. California time. So, bye, Jennifer. And Susan is saying she totally gets it. it'd be considered high risk due to the first being the way it was. You're very welcome. And I know I'm booked out a few. I don't have last minute readings. Sorry guys. Your best bet for like a last minute kind of reading, if you need a question answered right away, your best bet is to hop onto a live and do that. So many thanks and so much gratitude to all of you being here. I learned from you guys too. Your questions today, mwah, très magnifique. Was that good for not speaking French? Like, was that okay? Muy bueno. My mom's Cuban. I understand Spanish better, speak better Spanish than I do French. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your support. Please, please, please remember you have a lot of power within you. And the anxiety does not have to ruin your life. Your sensitivity doesn't have to ruin your life. And your ambition does not have to ruin your life. These are power points for you guys, okay? All right, you guys. So stay connected to yourself, stay connected to your friends and family, stay connected to me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.